What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Duality Podcast, where our motto is living comfortably uncomfortable. My name is Ian Perez, joined by Jonathan Mercado, Victor Rivera, and Chris Zora. We're four ordinary dudes with extraordinary dreams. Jonathan, what's up, dude?
Yo, what's up, everyone? Thank you again for tuning in. Much appreciated. And man, let's recap. Let's talk about. Did everyone get an invite to Chris's birthday party?
Ooh,
Want to make
you know
sure.
what? The funny thing is, my wife told me about it, and I'm like, "Ain't no birthday party happening." He hasn't told us anything on text. And he's like, "Yeah, look," and I'm like, "Oh, damn!" And I didn't even get like a notification or anything. I'm missing a lot of those things. I don't know why.
Yeah.
My Facebook account is weird.
As I was reading the description, I was wondering if he wrote that or his wife wrote that. I'm pretty sure 100% that his wife wrote that.
No, that was me.
You.
That was all me.
That was you. I know what you did. You went to Google, you type in party description, and you copy and pasted it right there.
It
was clean.
Honestly, that was all me. Like I was just trying to think of things that like to not one to just kind of be funny, and two just to give people ideas of what they can wear. Like because since we're doing an 80s party, I wanted to give people some ideas.
Hey, Party Man Chris is differently than regular Chris. All right, that's what he's trying to tell us.
Welcome to a life of a CG trainer, when we have to make something sound exciting through a post. Hey guys, do you want to come to a party where you can X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and Z? How does that sound? Yay! That's cool, man. True. So about the party, there's gonna be 3 dudes showing. We probably should just show up together. What is it, Vic? You should probably pull up in a minivan, pull up me, go get Ian, just roll up to cruise together. Because mommies are gonna be on babysitting duty.
All wearing shorts too small and shirts even smaller.
Crop top and baby.
Fanny pack.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I got a fanny pack. I'm gonna go to Goodwill, try to get one of those jean jackets.
Oh, he's trying to go all out.
Jackets,
go to Goodwill. No,
I was gonna get a fanny pack. Like I found one that was really good, and then I couldn't find it anymore. I don't know what happened. Like because I had accidentally exited the page, and I just could not find it again. But I might have one somewhere else. So I'm sure I can
find a big old clock and like put it in as a neck, like
Flavor Flav.
I think that was a little more 90s.
I watch his TV show.
Was it? I thought it was like late 80s. I don't know.
It might have been
90s, right?
Yeah, so
late 80s. Like that's when like raps took off. Yeah.
Got you, man. Hey, let's do a little recap. How was y'all's week?
Oh, it's busy, man. It's been busy, man. Been busy with franchise Cam Gladiator. Things are turning up. So getting new people in, trying to get new people to try it. So been out and about, and then just getting ready for this baby, man. I got 9 days, fellas. 9 days. Baby is coming. Today.
She's coming in 4.
Yeah, today we went to Mount Bunnell to walk the stairs and up, trying to get that baby.
Just to clarify, not the hospital.
Not the hospital. So I made a post. I just said, babe, what is it? Trying to get this baby out.
Trying to get this baby out. That's all we read.
Yeah,
trying to get this baby out.
I dropped my location, just Mount Bunnell, but a lot of people thought like I was having the baby already.
Well, I looked trying to get this baby out, and I was straight because there was no picture. It's like you just dropped the location, so I didn't even like bother. And then I look at the first comment. It says, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "Oh shit!" I yelled, "Babe, babe!"
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So false alarm, no baby actually yet, but just trying to. So the baby's actually like on its side. It's not like breached to where it's supposed to be. So she's doing all these things, walking on the bouncing ball thing. And doing all these type of things, raising her hips up so the baby can move. So doing all that right now.
All right, man. So you're nesting with your wife. You still got my drill and you haven't brought it back.
I just got it on Sunday, and she gave me another project to do. So I was like, dang. So when I get on the road, she takes advantage of it because
No,
I
for
told
sure.
I told my campers this, that I feel like a man doing this with the drill, like and stuff like that. But the reason why I don't like to do that kind of stuff, because when I growing up, my dad put me to do so much stuff that felt like a chore.
Yeah.
So now as a grown up, I'm like, I try not to do it because I'm like, it feels like I get that like chore, like, oh, it's a chore when, you know, I'm in control now. But
Hey,
Mhm.
speaking of, is there anything that y'all do that makes y'all just feel more like a man? Like I told y'all, when I fixed the lawnmower, like I felt like the manliest man. Is there anything in particular?
Probably
Mm,
just construction. Like anytime you assemble something or like build something, like when you accomplish something, basically, and it
I'll say
makes you
the few,
feel good about yourself.
I would say the few times I worked on my car.
Yeah, that's a
I
chore
feel
for me. I don't even do that no more.
that's different for you, yeah, because you did it
That's
like
a
as
chore,
a
brother. I did it for a living for 8 years, and I just, so man, I had a moment, and I caught myself. I got my oil change done at this. It's convenient. It's right down the street, half a mile. Valvoline. I don't know. It's a quick
oh,
place.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
joint
yeah,
right
yeah.
here. Yeah,
Yeah, just right here by the crib, man. There's some young kids there working, grinding. I'm just watching them being systematic. They're just getting things done. They look like they're really loving their job right now, right? And I'm just getting out the car. You're not supposed to get out the car. You're apparently supposed to just sit in the car while everything happens.
yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I got out the car.
Man.
I was like, "Where do I sit?" He's like, "Oh, you're supposed to sit in your car." He's like, "But you're cool though," because we started chatting. You know, we started chopping it up, and one of the guys was trying to take off my hubcap. He had the wrong screwdriver. He was trying to rotate my tires, and he was on the struggle bus, and he was about to scratch up all kinds of shit. And I'm looking at him, and I see a tool that he got. I'm like, bro, in my head, I was like, damn, you got the wrong tool, homie. And he calls for help, but the other dude's not. He can't listen. Like he's grinding, doing his thing. I was like, hey man, I was like, let me help you out. That way, if you scratch it, I ain't got to get in your ass. If it's on me, let me do it. I was like, but let me tell you, I was like, hey man, you got the wrong screwdriver. You need something a little thinner, whatever the case may be. He's like, I was like, I don't think I have anything lighter. I was like, just go get me something smaller. And he's like, have you done this before? I was like, man, for about 8 years. And then so I brought up the topic about, I popped it like 1 second. There you go, brother. And then he's like, hey, he's like, you used to work on cars? Like, yeah, Honda. He's like, I just bought my car from a Honda, man. He's like, during your 8 years, he's like, why'd you stop? And I was gonna be a jackass. Like I was like, man, fuck that shit. Like on the cool. Like I saw the route it was going, and that just wasn't my calling. I was gonna say, man, it sucked. Like I didn't, but that was
Just
me.
kill
So
his dreams.
I did not put that on him. And I just said, hey, I found a different passion. But that's my first thought. So thankfully now I don't speak off my first thought anymore. I now, digest it before I speak. And I could have crushed that man's soul, man.
I know.
He was like enjoying the, working the cars with his buddies. And I remember that feeling, right? So, hey, man, let him do his thing. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Tell me about the week.
Yeah, so this past week celebrated my birthday. So Friday night, just went out to dinner with the wife. Just kind of hung out. My parents had mentioned going to Cheesecake Factory a couple of days earlier, so I was like, that sounded good. So because I was really craving some cheesecake, so we ended up going there.
Nice.
And then Saturday, I went first we went to Rainy Street for a little bit, hung out with a couple friends, met up with them. I hadn't seen them in a while. And then we ended up going to the inaugural home game for the Austin FC, which is awesome. Like, I mean, Matthew McConaughey was getting everyone riled up at the beginning, like
for like 10 minutes saying the same thing. I was like, it's gonna end.
Like I was like, how the hell do these people already know the chants when it's the first game? Like, how does everyone know what to say?
They've been practicing. You haven't seen that on Twitter?
No,
I follow on Twitter. Yeah, they have like practice days like once a week.
Somebody's coordinating that.
Uh-huh.
Somebody's leading that up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a cool experience though. Like it's kind of be part of like Austin's history, at least when it comes to sports. And then yesterday I just spent the whole day like getting credits for my work. Like I need to, I mean, you have to keep up your certification. You have to get a certain amount of credits every couple of years. And
Like a trainer.
I had been slacking a little bit. So yeah, I was like, I hate doing them so much. So I just put it off the last minute and just knocked out a lot yesterday.
Yeah. Well, man, congrats and happy birthday again, brother. We'll celebrate. We'll go ham in the paint this weekend. Is it Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay. Mr. Ian, what's up, brother? Mr.
Oh.
Security.
Yeah, I got a
Top flight.
security system set up today in my crib, so you ain't breaking in. You can't come in.
What's
Yeah, the code is you not important enough. Today Steph and I got our marriage license, so we're gonna finally do the damn thing. Don't know how we're gonna do it yet,
bro.
Oh, nice.
Dang.
Congrats.
You brought
We've
up that
been-
conversation first.
Right.
What's funny?
How'd that come about?
What's
Steph.
fun? You know what?
Better put a ring on it.
That'll be a conversation outside the podcast. It's
There
actually
you
pretty
go.
funny.
There you go.
But
Smart
no,
man.
we've been engaged for a handful of years now, so I think it's time to finally
I'm trying to break records on that.
like lock it down.
I'm going
Oh, man.
strong, brother.
Other than that, just chill, enjoying my last couple of weeks. I actually go back to work next week,
I was
so
about to mention that you're instead of
Oh.
nesting, you're nesting in your head to get back to work.
yeah. I mean, low key, I've been kind of itching to get back. I kind of miss it. Just kind of have
Yeah,
some
doing
some
something,
structure. Yeah. But I'm still blessed that I get to work from home, so I'll still be here, able to help out when I can.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a blessing right there. Like 100%.
Yeah. And that I guess that's really it. Just been chilling, kind of getting, I don't know, not really on track, but just enjoying the moment, I guess you could say.
Well, that's good to hear, brother. I'm excited for you to, get back in the groove of things, start feeling good. I know it's going to be hard. It's newborn life, brother.
Mhm.
It's newborn life. We're still adjusting on the fly. We're just adapting. Because it's hard to get in a routine because babies really don't have routines. You can get in the best kind of routine possible, but they flip it up on you all the time. And my last just 4 days have been just turned upside down with 2 kids sick. Like never have I ever had to deal with 2 babies almost just sick. And so it's like a marathon. It's like maybe I'll get an hour of sleep, maybe it's half an hour, I don't know, right? Being sick. So that's been my game. But it's honestly, Desi's strong. Like she puts everything on her back because she knows I need to continue to grind with our franchise right now. It's a big moment for us, and it's a big moment for our team. And it's a big moment for me to keep pouring into myself and not saying, "Oh, I'm tired" or "I'm fatigued." Right. So I've been on my A game with fitness, with the business, with making sure I care for the wifey, and I feel amazing. As you can see, look at the gallon a day. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling on point, guys. Food prep has been done. I'm growing it. You go in my fridge, there's some freaking rice and there's some ground beef, and I just put it together, slam it, move on. But honestly, I feel great.
Looks like you squatted today too.
I found that was yesterday, and I'm weak. Ever since that ankle injury, I really haven't messed with it. And now the bar feels like death. Everybody remembers if you don't use it, you lose it. Yeah. Boy, I was at like 375 squatting. 185 feels like death. And I'm like, oh, all right.
Body starts to shake.
Game on. Hey, anybody knows this experience more than anybody? It's Mr. Ian. You need to get strong quick. And then bar feels like death. So yeah, man. So real quick, crazy topic. 90s. The 90s fashion is coming back. Are y'all aware of this?
Jorts.
I mean, it's been back for a while.
It's been back for a while, but I'm seeing it more now. And when I look back at 60s, 70s, 80s, they all had like a cool, fashionable, style. Like they're very. When I was in the 90s, I was always all like, man, our fashion sucked. Even looking back before the trend started happening, I was like, man, like 90s sucked as far as fashion. Like if you watch the old school, like American Pies, you watch all these movies, it's like they just threw something on that was baggy. Like it wasn't really no rhyme or reason. It didn't even look cool.
Yeah.
And for now, somebody, I don't know who started it, but somebody brought the 90s back, and Desi's like, skinny jeans are out. And she tried to throw away my jeans. I was like, whoa,
Hmm.
whoa, back off my skinny jeans, bro. Are y'all feeling the baggy pants? Are y'all feeling like the throw on whatever I don't know what the style is.
I
It's
ain't
so
going baggy
random to
no
me.
more, man. Everything's like
Fitted. Custom,
I
bro.
should. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the wearing baggy clothes and stuff, but
At the Jinko, bro.
I look back, I'm like, I look
Are the
funny.
Jinkos back?
Bro, I forgot about Jinko.
Are the Jinkos back?
I don't think they'll ever
They didn't
come
bring
back.
back the
People have-
Jinkos.
No, those are dead, and for good reason.
Well, if anything needs to come back, it needs to be the Jinkos because they were a staple, brother.
Corduroy pants. Corduroy
The
pants.
corduroy, yeah. I don't know. Like, I feel like some of the stuff, like when you see people wearing it, like it works for some people. They know how to pull it off. There's certain types of shirts or certain types of pants
Yeah.
that work, but overall, the fashion in the '90s was pretty rough. I mean,
Yeah.
you had like a lot of flannels and stuff, which is still popular, but it was like you said, it was a lot baggier. The pants were obviously baggier.
Everything was just loose. And it wasn't like a big loose. It was like in the in between where it's like, maybe you didn't wash it. Like maybe you put it out your basket. Everyone pulls out the basket and you just pick and you threw it on and and that's how you wore your clothes. It's rough. I don't know. Desi went ahead and bought some baggy pants. She was like, "How do I look in them?" I was like, "Oh, you look phenomenal." But I was all like, I don't know if I can get down with this.
I know, like, I don't really like.
She bought baggy pants.
Like how,
Yeah, she bought the
Yeah.
baggy pants, man. I was like,
yeah,
I
they're
staring
they're
at your
kind of
booty,
like
baby. I'm sorry.
they're kind of trending back to like mom jeans and
Yeah, I was like, started scratching my head. I was like, "Yep, well, baby, you look great. So let's go." All right, guys. Hey, let's throw it down. Let's get some learning because Oprah is the queen. Oprah is the real deal. Oprah is, man, an idol.
She's
She
an
is
icon,
like the
bro.
epitome of self-development and spirituality and a higher being and higher conscious and giving and purpose and being grounded. And man, after like researching about her, I think I'm gonna get a tattoo of her on my left butt cheek, bro. I think like she belongs on my body. Right?
Just
Of
get
all
the
places,
Get the
all
O.
places.
Oh, what we should
Yeah.
call her. What's her real name? Orpa?
Orpa,
Orpa?
yeah.
Orpa. I didn't know that until
I didn't know that either until I
I
read
was
it
all like,
today.
oh, she changed her name. All right, so hey, let's jump into it. We're gonna be speaking about Oprah, and early beginnings, her childhood, growing up, what she's accomplished now, and and some quotes and maybe some learning topics that we can pull from Oprah because there's so many that we can just discuss and debate that it can literally just take over the podcast. But we do always want to cover early beginnings, the career, so that way you can have just always a better understanding of that you can become who you want to become. You just have to make that decision, right? And so, man, pop it off. Early beginnings. What was Orpa's life like?
Yeah, it was. I didn't know. I mean, I knew she was poor, but I didn't realize how poor she was growing up. Like when she was born, like her mom moved up to Milwaukee while she stayed with her grandma for the first 6 years in Mississippi. And her grandma was her grandma was so poor that she would make dresses out of potato sacks for her to wear, and she'd get made fun of because of what she was wearing. Which I was like, I mean, I've heard of a lot of poor people, but I've never heard of anyone making a outfit. Right? Yeah, we're in a potato sack.
So I knew nothing about Oprah's early beginning. I knew Oprah now and what she is currently doing. Vic, do you find anything about her growing up?
Other thing what you guys said, I mean, really humble beginnings. I didn't know she grew up again poverty that much, but she moved a lot too. Like it was a lot of change happening. She never really had like a stable thing going on. She moved from her grandma, then moved her dad, then stepmom. And then unfortunately, a lot of traumatic things happened to her at a very young age.
Didn't know this either, man. Tell me.
Yeah, so she was sexually abused by family and friends for years. So that
Yeah,
was like,
starting at 9 years old.
all right, 9 years old. That's crazy. And so that part there was crazy. I think I knew that, but I don't know like how long. I thought it was maybe one instance or something like that, but it looks like it was something repetitive. So that in itself, just to come out
Soul
of
crushing,
that,
bro.
yeah. So
Talking
that's
about guards, scars, mental scars, issues. Like, man, the trauma, right?
yeah.
I
What made
didn't
it
know.
worse is her family didn't believe her when she brought it up, like in her mid
Oh,
20s.
Yeah,
They didn't believe
20s.
her.
Yeah.
dang.
Yeah.
But I did, so I didn't get to confirm or find out right, but she got pregnant at age 14. Was
Yeah.
it because of abuse, sexual abuse, or was
That was
that
I don't think so. At first that's what I was thinking, but then when I was reading it, it didn't seem like it was from abuse. It was just like an unwanted pregnancy. And then the baby ended up being born premature and didn't make it. And I think after that, she had said that she had vowed to not become a mother because she didn't have a good like mother role model growing up.
well, I think her dad had. I just watched an interview. Her dad says, "This is your restart. This is your new opportunity, right?" And she took that with everything she could, and to really turn it around for herself.
Yeah, and that was when
But
she moved in with him the second time, I think, correct?
yeah, it was the
Yeah.
second time. So
Yeah.
just coming from her parents' side, um, they're very strict, right? So once again, there comes this strict parenting's rules, guidelines, some enforcement that we see a common trend of. I don't think we've interviewed somebody who didn't have strict parents, as far as not abusive like strict parents, but strict parents, and like there's some expectations of you that you need to follow, and you need to hold yourself to a higher standard, or there's gonna be some repercussions, right? Which is fair, right? You want to bring your children up to have certain standards, because without standards, you're just kind of walking through life, right? Not really caring. And so there's a common trend there. So let's talk about as far as going into career. Where did it start for her? Did you guys know that she really didn't know she wanted to be in TV?
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. But I did see like it all kind of started once she won. That was a Miss Black Teen Tennessee or something like that.
Pageant, yeah, some pageant.
Yeah, the beauty pageant. She got recognized by a radio station while she was still in high school, and she was working with them. Kind of like almost like an internship, but I think she was getting paid for it. And then she did a couple years in college as well. And then yeah, just kind of took it from there.
So during her careers, she obviously was just like, I guess she experienced some patterns from moving place to place early on, and now she was kind of doing the same thing with her career. Like she would go here for not like just a short period of time. She would go in there and put in her reps, put in her years, hone her craft, and then she would move on. And she speaks about this, why she kept moving on, because she was searching for her dharma. And Ian, I know you're reading Think Like a Monk. I don't know how far you got into it, but your dharma is your calling, and it's your soul kind of guiding you to where you want to be in life. Everyone in life is searching for their calling. Like that's why people go to college, right? To figure out what they don't want to do, to hone their skills, to go for what they think is their calling, right? They're searching for this moment for themselves, is destiny. That I think we're all, which is why we're doing what we're doing right now, is we're searching for our destinies through self-development. And she always listened to her soul, and she asked herself, is this right for me? Right? Because you can always rationalize things in your head, you can always justify, but you always at the end of the day have this gut feeling, is this right? Like it's there, but some people choose to listen to it and some people choose not to listen to it. And I want to give a quick an example, or for you guys to maybe give an example. Has there ever been a moment in your life where you knew in your heart, like in your soul, it was speaking to you that you shouldn't have done it, and you did it anyways, and there were some repercussions for it? Maybe like a switch careers, or vice versa. Your heart was telling you to do something, but your mind was all like, don't do it, but you did it anyway. And then there were some achievements from it because you were listening, you're coming from your heart instead of your head.
I think for me, two things is kind of, we mentioned the first time, is you did something that you probably shouldn't have done.
Your heart was telling you no, right?
Yeah. So one of these is for me was dropping out of college. College was not a problem for me as far as going to college, but like my son was in the way, and then all these pressures of like providing and all these things like in my mind, right? And I really didn't have anyone like to guide me and stuff at the time, or give me that like that advice or whatever. And so when you're young, you think everything is, oh, I gotta do this and that. You don't think long term type of thing. So that was me. I would say in my gut, I was like, man, I should stick this out here in college. I think it will benefit my family, going forward. Yeah. But to me, I was a little short-sighted. So I was like, oh no, I gotta go work. I gotta do this.
You started rationalizing things in your head.
Right.
Anybody else have an example, vice versa, right? Or maybe, so Vic was speaking about not listening to his gut. Have you guys had an experience of maybe you did listen to your gut, but your mind was like telling you that fear, that no, but you did it anyway and something great came out of it? Either or. Got any experiences?
No, mine's kind of the same as Victor's.
Like maybe you should have pulled out, but you didn't, and I'm playing.
Oh, God.
Anyways. No, definitely dropping out of college. You invest so much time, money, and effort into it, and it got hard. And then life changes, and I become a sole provider, and I'm kind of the same mindset. I kind of have to work, I have to provide, so I put everything on the back burner. When my gut was telling me you can do all of it, my mind was telling me just focus on this one.
Yeah.
And now I have student loan debt and no degree to show for it, but I'm still young. I plan to go back and at least get one piece of paper.
There you go, brother.
I would say, I'm trying to think, like, I would say maybe like when I was in track and field in high school, I was a jumper and I did not want to do the triple jump.
Sorry, my bad.
Allergy.
Hey, I used to be able to jump, yeah, but not anymore.
Mosquito went in my nose, brother.
I think he came to my house after. That was weird.
We went.
Anyways, I remember trying to do, like, in practice, I was trying to do the triple jump, and I decided I don't like this. I'm not gonna do it. But then so I didn't do it my junior year, because that's when I started, was junior year, and then senior year, I just got thrown into it because they needed someone to do it. There was no one doing the event. I was like, really don't want to, but I'll take one for the team. I'll do it. And then I ended up doing really well, without having any form whatsoever. And then so I just started doing it as, like, I ended up being my best event. Like, I ended up being the best on the team as far as triple jump goes, and was just learning from other coaches from other schools because we didn't really have a real jump coach. And not only did I improve dramatically, like they liked my initiative, like, and actually asked me to coach for the next 3 years after that.
Oh man, can you imagine if you would have done it just that first year, right?
Yeah.
Like what you
I know I could have been so much better. Like
the impact you could have done if you
Yeah.
were coach. Yeah, no, definitely. So what comes across from my examples is I don't ever listen to any rationalization. I always listen to my soul, and it's something I've always done, which is why it looks like I take big leaps, but it's never really, because in my heart, I always follow my heart. Even when it seems like the odds are against me, right? Quit my job cold turkey to start a franchise. Cool. You sold my house off of just one moment that I listened to a podcast and everything came together. I've always followed my heart, right? Because we can justify things in our head, and if long enough, you'll start to believe these lies. Those little people talking in your ear. I don't know what do we call those people? There's actually a Disney movie that we just watched.
Marco.
Luca,
Silencio Marco.
Oh, Bruno. Silencio
Bruno.
Oh, Silencio Bruno. There you go.
Silence
No,
Bruno, right? Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah, silence it, because man, that dude will talk stupid
good
to
movie.
you and start making you believe that you're not good enough. And so nobody taught me this. I just don't listen to my mind. I don't listen to my surroundings, my peoples, my friends, because if at the end of the day, whose life is it?
Yours,
Yours.
man.
It's your life, man. At the end of the day, it's your life, and you got to follow your heart. And Oprah speaks about, her career changes, and it was because she was following her heart the entire time, even when the odds were against her, even when her bosses said, don't leave, don't go towards this, you're not going to make it, you're black, you're a woman, they're racist there, whatever adversity she came across, even she knew what she was walking into. She believed so much in herself, and her heart was saying, just go do this. And so that's what I wanted to pull from this conversation, just that piece there, because we started seeing a trend with her moving careers. And so if anybody's listening, I think that could be a grasp right there, is you just have to listen to your gut, because your gut is telling you to do these things, and most likely for a great reason, but people aren't acting on it. We know we need to work out. Your gut is telling you get off your ass and go work out, but we're not acting on it.
Mine's
we knew
literally
we need to
sitting
be
there.
studying. We know we need to be studying. We know we need to be doing our homework. We know we need to be, improving to make it to the next level. Like, we know we need to be doing something, but your heart, you're just not acting on it. Like, your heart's telling you, but you're not acting on it. And so, man, that just wanted to pull that. I think that was just a good part to pull, since we were talking about her mid-careers. But as she was transitioning into her next phase of life, she was a reporter, right? We knew that.
Yeah, newscaster. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go through that real quick.
Yeah,
Or
I think in the 80s, right? So that was pretty much like her start in TV, right? In TV. So worked for a couple of TV news stations. Things worked in Nashville, Baltimore, and then ultimately she moved to Chicago. That's kind of where everything kind of took off of there, right?
So yeah, it took off, but I want to pull and extract another part. Is she's starting in reporting. She did reporting jobs, and she didn't like reporting. She didn't like reporting the news, right? Because she just had such a big heart. She had all this sympathy and empathetic towards these people, and she really couldn't.
Yeah, she didn't like the objectiveness of it. She wanted to talk about her beliefs and just express how she feels about certain topics and all that.
She got demoted. So how does she fall into where she is now? She, now she's interviewing people, and yeah, we'll get to her. She gets to pick what she wants to use on her platform. But the whole reason she is Oprah is because she got demoted. A door shut on her, a door necessary that needed to be shut, or else we wouldn't have gotten Oprah. So this door, they demoted her, say, hey, you're really not cutting it for a news reporter, because everybody wanted to be an anchor. Everybody wanted to be the 10 o'clock. Everybody wanted to be on the news, right? So she got demoted. She started doing a talk show, which was their demotion. And then she knew right there that she was going to be a talk show host, right? And so then she started following that dharma, and that led into, her going to Chicago, doing a TV show, and really just blowing it out the water.
Yeah, she revolutionized talk, like daytime television, when it comes to those talk shows.
What was the reason? What separated Oprah? She spoke about this. What separated Oprah from any other television show?
Well, because at that time it was a lot of just garbage TV, just nonsense, and she started focusing on issues, and she was doing her self-help stuff and encouraging people, and just kind of brought a different energy to television that had never really been seen before.
She brought purpose driven information that could impact the world. That was a secret sauce that Oprah did. And she had gotten to a point where she wasn't being told what to put on her TV show anymore. She was actually telling the producers what she wanted to be on the TV show. And she used this one process to kind of filter what she wanted on her TV show. And she said, don't tell me what it's about. Tell me your intention about what you want us to put on. She's like, when we lead with intention, then I know if it's purpose driven, and then we could put it on the platform. That was the secret sauce. Is I don't care who's coming, what is their intention, and does it follow my heart, my calling to have a better, impactful life to give to the world, right?
That's awesome. I didn't know that piece, but I mean that really kind of resonates as far as, you know, why her show or why her personality in general is so impactful for so many years to people. So people tuned in, and she took over at that time when she started and took off. There was another talk show host that was also pretty popular at the time. What is it? Donahue, I forgot his first name, but and then when she came in the scene, she just took over and just blew him out the water as #1 daytime talk show host. And I think because we just said, I think when you lead life with purpose, either in your career, you know, in your family circle, friend circle, just everywhere, I think you kind of never go wrong, right? I think that's why when we first, I think, got together to do this podcast, we went through our, you know, our mission, our purpose, you know, why do we want to be, all that stuff, because and actually it's one of Oprah's, like, one of 8 life lessons is to decide what you want to be, and then be passionate about it, right? So those 2 things are what kind of drive her, and like I said, that comes through her personality, and again, if it's purposeful, you impact other people. It is awesome. And I think we all can kind of learn from that. Sometimes, like Jay was saying, we tend to rationalize some things, and sometimes we might make the wrong choice, right? It can be in anything, career, relationships, right? Moving to another, you know, a new city or whatnot. The grass is never greener on the other side, but if you follow your calling, your purpose, even it might be some rough patches down that line, but if it's where your heart is, ultimately it'll lead you to good things.
Even if you make the wrong decision. Who said that was a wrong decision?
Yeah.
That wrong decision could open up that new door, make you possibly closer to your calling. Man, it's I love, here's why I love Oprah so much. She defines her success not by all the things that she's done in life. I wouldn't say define all her success. She has given, what's the best way to put it? The reason why she's successful is for this one reason and one reason only.
I think I know what you're going with.
What am I going? Let's see if you can answer.
Let me see if I
Why
had
is
it.
she successful? Anybody listening, call out loud. Why is she super successful?
She said, be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. I don't know if that's what you're going with, but that's what
it was actually self-development.
Oh.
She lives life from inside out, right? She lives life from growing, from honing her skills, from becoming this higher being, higher wisdom, this constant search that she's still searching today. Why she's able to make all these decisions, why she's able to think consciously in the moment and stay awake and not let her mind, her thoughts override her inner soul. Her purpose literally revolves around her being so selfish, pour so much into herself that she's able to make and give others so much more. And it's all derived about self-development. And what do we do, guys? Like, self-development is preparing you for that next opportunity. Her, you know, luck is, in her quote, luck is preparedness meets opportunity. So she constantly self-develops. She constantly is in this higher spirit. She says, every day I work on one thing, and that's staying awake. And what she meant by that, she even said it, is I practice spirituality. Now, that's not religion. Don't get confused with religion. She even said that. So that can be a little confusing why she kind of veers from that word, spirituality. But what do you do for yourself to make you better, is how she put it. And that's what we do every week. We don't know, but right now we're preparing for that next moment in life, that next opportunity. She says the people who are successful at the highest level, all the greats, we're preparing inside first, because destiny calls on everyone. Everyone has a destiny. Everyone has this calling, but few people hear it because they never find themselves first. And that got me right there. That's why I love Oprah, because this is exactly what we're doing. We're finding ourselves so that way we can be able to listen to our destiny when it calls. That way we're prepared, and that way that we're ready for that destiny. That pumps me up. I had to stop my run. I was on a podcast listening, I was running, and I got the chills. I was like, damn, Oprah.
Yeah, man. I mean, she's definitely an example, or one of, obviously, every time we kind of research and talk about all these successful people, it's not really the material things that, or no really special sauce. Everyone had to go through some self-development, some soul searching, and kind of find themselves. That's kind of commonality, not only, other things, right? That's coming from humble beginnings and working hard, going through adversity. But another facet of the process is finding yourself and really finding a passion for what you like to do. And then it's kind of really going for it, but really having an understanding of your strengths, your weaknesses, and developing in those strengths and those weaknesses, and just become a better version of yourself. And that's kind of something that I think, like you said, we are doing here. And if for everyone that's listening, hopefully you're in that journey with us as well, right? So, or maybe the first time you listen to this podcast, you haven't really started. Well, start today. Doesn't matter where you are. But I think things that we can take out of it, as far as for Oprah, is that, right? It's that constant self-development, and really the word that gets synergy, or finding yourself, finding something that your spirituality, whatever that is, right? That invest in yourself, just keep that constant.
So something she said, if you don't know where to start, that's a starting point. Not knowing where to start, right? Or I may have said that wrong. What's the better way to say it? Matthew McConaughey says it too.
No, I think you said I think I got it. What you meant to say.
Yeah, I got it.
But
Yeah.
not knowing, shoot, there's a better way to say it. They say it all the time. Matthew McConaughey says it when you don't know what to do, that's a starting point, because you're eliminating that out the way.
Yeah,
there's a better way to say it. I need somebody come in and save the day. Dang it.
Ian, you're a quote guy.
Not knowing where to start
is the beginning, something like that.
Whatever. Hopefully y'all caught the grasp of that. Let's pull back. Chris,
I feel like I had it on my wall, but I don't.
Let's extract it.
What's up?
Say your quote again. Let's extract it, because quotes always have some learning opportunity from it.
So she said to be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough.
Oh, yeah. That was in the podcast too, is intention. She goes back to intention. If you constantly want, you're never going, you're pushing it away. Your intentions aren't right. But when you focus on developing yourself and showing gratitude for the things that you have, then eventually you'll pull in what you really want without wanting it. It was deep. What'd y'all get from that?
Yeah, no, I was thinking on the same way. I mean, if you focus too much on all the little things every single thing that you want, you're going to kind of lose track of what you already have. And instead of focusing on all those things that you desire, like your dream car, your mansion that you want to have, if you just appreciate what you have, more things are going to come your way.
And I need to practice that. I'm guilty, brother, because when I go work out the gym, I see my homeboy's Lamborghini, and I'm like, "Oh, you coming?" Like I'm talking to the car as I'm passing by it. I was like, "Oh, don't just wait, Jonathan. Keep putting the work, keep putting the work." But I'm constantly thinking about like this other life that I should be living. And when I heard that today, it hit me in the throat. And those are the moments that I truly appreciate. Are those humble moments, right, where I can be like, "Damn, all right, I'm doing it wrong." You got to self-assess. You gotta come with grist. Like, damn, okay, yeah, I am doing it wrong. How can I get better? And Oprah said it best. And maybe we should do a gratitude journal. I don't know. Maybe that could take us to the next level. Maybe I can appreciate some things better, right? Because I keep looking at this Lambo, and I'm like, bro, teasing me over here, homie.
I think we talked about this in other podcasts. I think where you can kind of lose sight. We talk about running your own race, right? So, and then also as far as giving back, being grateful for what you have. I think with Schwarzenegger, he talks about giving back, and I think everyone's successful person. I think you have to have that, like, because sometimes I think when you hit that stride to where you're making it, right? You're like, oh man, I'm actually achieving all the things I want to achieve. Sometimes if you're not centered and like, or grounded and think about the things you do have, the stuff that actually makes you happy, because material things, they're great, obviously, right? We're in this material world. We need things and stuff like that. But that's not like where your happiness is, like your family or, friends, your circle, whatever, things that kind of center you. I think those are the things you got to remember and just be grateful for. So I do that too. Sometimes like Jay, like I want to achieve so many things, right? And you're working so hard, you're like, you lose kind of sight of what you already have, what you already achieved. And sometimes the pressure gets you. I know it does to me sometimes. I'm like, I get stressed out, put too much pressure on myself. But then I think about, I'm like, okay, take a deep breath. You got health, you got your family, come a long way. Like, okay, all right, that you start being grateful for the things you have, and like, all right, it kind of also refreshes you a little bit, and you kind of puts you back in your lane. Like, all right, it kind of makes you grind more, but for the right reasons.
No, you said it best. And I know that you're learning something on this podcast, Victor, because you keep referring to old episodes. I'm like, I was like, I forgot about that. I forget. I'm bad at forgetting stuff. What did you guys learn anything that stuck with Oprah? Like that you learned like during this research process was like, man, this right here, we need to speak about. This is it. Because I gave you mine.
I think besides the self-help, just her entrepreneurial mindset. Like she has done so many different things besides just being on TV or I mean, not only did she have her own show, but she was acting, which I mean, it's not entrepreneurial, but she was acting on the side. And then she started like a book club that became a magazine. And then, then she got her own TV
anything
station.
She was passionate.
She was
about,
a mogul, yeah. Like
anything she's passionate about, she created.
And then I also really love like her like philanthropy, like she spent, I think, like, I don't know if she paid for her, like with her own money, but she at least raised $40 million for a school in Africa.
That sounds way better. I was
yeah,
gonna say
for
400 million.
for these girls that are like being abused, and like, I mean, it just I don't think it was all, that one was all girls, but I think or is all abused. I think it is an all girls school, but because they don't they don't teach a lot of females like in a lot of countries out there because they're supposed to stay home and do house duties. And she wanted to change that. And she's also, I mean, like we mentioned earlier, she was sexually abused as a child. So she is like big. I mean, she fights for the children big time all over the world. Like, I mean, she does so much for them, and like it's like,
there's a common trend from successful entrepreneurs. They create things that could have helped them out with their experiences.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's your calling, right? If you want to always help out somebody that maybe you've gone through that you didn't take well and that you know how to take now, and you can go out and help others. But man, Vic, you got anything, Ian?
For me, I just I mean, I was going through some things, and then something I came through about was Oprah's like 8 light lessons for success.
Let's
which
listen.
we kind of touched base on all these things like we talked about. So just decide what you want to be was number one. The power of passion. We talk about leading with passion. Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from that. Focusing on things that really excite you, right? We started the podcast where Jay did mechanic work for years. That wasn't his passion. It wasn't his calling, right? So knowing where your passion is will definitely give you more of a chance to success. Focus on the good. That was the thing I was talking about as far as being grateful. Focus on the good. So that was a good one. Number 4 is like you need to change. So the more you have, you need to become more. So that's part of the self-development.
Evolve. You constantly evolve and adapt.
Yeah. And then just accepting that we all fail. We talked about that, right? The need to fail. That's kind of how we grow.
The best learning moments.
Yeah. And then increase your potential. It's number 6. And so again, on that kind of self-development, like everyone has to like gifts and skills. You just got to increase and get the most out of what you have. So that was pretty good. And then number 7 is think big. She said a quote about my future is so bright that like my eyes hurt, something like that. She said, so like she was like envision, so like having vision of yourself, right? Not thinking small. And then just tell your personal story. So be transparent, which we talk about being vulnerable, right? So it's she did that on the show a lot, telling her stories and things that, telling her story as far as, being sexually abused as a kid, stuff like that, and not letting, the past, right? So all those things, I think sharing your story can help others, kind of like, we're doing here, or we're sharing our story. Hopefully it helps somebody else.
Yeah.
So that was kind of those 8 things there that I think all that put together.
That's what we talked about on the podcast, right? We broke down a little bit of her life. I don't like going too much into the careers and all that. That's all cool. That's all the achievements. We know Oprah, what she's done, but just the extraction points of what we can take from Oprah and get back to whoever is listening, including ourselves. Because I told you at that throat check moment of I was getting caught up in what I'm going to have. I was getting caught up in that feeling, right? I was like getting so caught up in that feeling. Y'all know the feeling of you get those endorphins when you work out. All right, you work out, you get those endorphins, you feel good. But that's when you actually put in work and you work out. I was getting endorphins thinking about being successful without doing the work. And I was getting caught up. Because that was fulfilling my work. Well, I wasn't really working. I didn't need to work because I was getting that high from thinking about this life that I'm going to have. So I would skip the actual production work to get me to the next stop. Like I text Chris because my gut's telling me I need to be looking at these properties because we haven't heard back. And I keep letting them slide because I'm like, no, me and Chris will tackle all of them at once again. But then my gut's telling me, bro, you should be looking at these properties every time they come through. But then I start thinking about my life can be getting caught up in that fantasy that I failed to look at do the actual work. And it's those throat check moments that I got to get out of my emotions, that I got to get into routine of just staying focused. Like Oprah said, just do what you need to do, hone in, be prepared, prepare yourself. It's coming. If you just keep preparing yourself and stay focused, it's going to come. It's going to meet you where you are. And so you're gonna
have some you're gonna go through some struggles, and you're gonna have wounds just from everything that you go through. But like one thing that she had said is turn those wounds into wisdom. So just take all those negative things that have been happening and use it to better yourself or use it to propel you to the next level.
I feel you, brother, man. Hey, what I had was something serious. It's a disease, and I feel like a lot of people have it and they're not aware of it. I think Eric Thomas talked about that. They call it pre-sex. Like you just get this fantasy inside your head, but you ain't really doing nothing. But that's satisfying enough. Like that's satisfying enough without actually doing the work. And get out of there. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. End us. What are we ending off with a quote?
I just wanted to praise her one last time, because like to come from where she came from, like as poor as she was and having all these odds against her, being African American, being a female, and to see like to become a self-made millionaire. I mean, they say self-made, but to become a millionaire, not based off of like inheriting money or just like coming into it through the lottery or whatever, just putting in the work that she did and overcoming all those odds against her. Like I just tip my hat off to her. Like she's an incredible woman. Like I'm glad that we ended up showcasing like a woman, and like just because I mean we've been dude heavy very I mean the whole podcast is called Duality, but it's good to see success from all levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're staying in our lane. We're dudes, right? We want to help dudes that are in our same situation as us, or just trying to make it to that next level and don't know how. Doing it together, man. That's what Oprah, right? Her calling is she's trying to help Black women or Black young women who are going through the same adversity as she is, make it to that next level. And so we're doing the exact same thing. Dude, female, it doesn't matter. We're all just trying to grow and make it to that next level, man.
For sure.
We good?
Oh yeah.
Good.
Yep. I do. And I don't know, it just kind of sticks with me a little bit more just knowing more about her early life. But Oprah says, be thankful for problems. If they were less difficult, someone with less ability might have your job. Deep nice stuff. So embrace
say that again. That might have went over somebody said. Say it again, because it went over my head just a little bit. I got the concept, but I want to hear it.
Be thankful for problems. If they were less difficult, someone with less ability might have your job.
There you go. All right. I like it.
Awesome. But as always, thanks for joining us today. Till next time. Peace and love.